Hello to all our friends, subscribers, and viewers. We're glad you tuned in today and are grateful for your continued support. This week, we're bringing you a car that's one of our favorites of all time. The Ford Motor Company's Edsel division line of cars made from 1958 through the early part of the 1960 model year. You'll meet our new friend Bob Bray as he tells us the story of his wonderful convertible. Bob's a legendary mechanic in the Phoenix area, especially on vintage vehicles, and his involvement in the world of antique cars keeps him active at nearly 90 years old. You'll love meeting Bob and hearing all about his relationship with this beautiful convertible from several generations ago. Now, let's go for a ride.
My name's Bob Ray. I guess I'm the fine owner of this here 58 Edsel convertible. These nice people are going to take and do a little story on it. I was in Fort Knox, Kentucky, in Louisville, and I seen this kind of a pinkish looking weird car sitting on a lot, and it was a 58 Edsel convertible yet. And I decided, I want one of them. At the time, I had a 57, I think, Buick that my dad brought down to me just so I would have a car at Fort Knox. But so when I got out of the service, there was no Edsel in mind. I had other things on mind. Go back to work, just try to get on top of things again. I had been looking for one for quite a while, and we looked at several, but they just didn't make the grade. And then I think it was my son-in-law found it in a magazine, and he didn't have any pictures, he just had a description of it. So when I talked to him on the phone, he said, bring a lot of boxes because you're going to need them. And when he opened up the door of the garage, there was pictures in it there that was in that book. The car was up on stands, on jack stands. There was no seats. Everything was taken out of the car. And all those parts are in those boxes up there on the shelf. Well, we didn't have boxes. So we dumped them on the floor, just any place that they wouldn't get lost, period. And that's where all the nuts and bolts were. And most of the parts for the engine was disassembled because he was going to redo that. And he just set it back in the cars so it would be easier to transport. In about 3 months, I fired it up. I done the engine first. I got that in there. The transmission I sent out immediately because he had it for a month or so. The Edsel is a 361 where the Fords were 352s. It's just different. And I didn't paint the car. I don't know whether I would have painted it with that scheme, but with the red and white interior and the red insert there in the back, that car just jumps out and says hi. Yeah, it goes down the street, everybody don't recognize it possibly what it is, but they're going to glance at it.
Time to cruise in the old Edsel.
Yeah.
Whoop. Say hi, Bob.
Hi there. This is the steering column here. Reverse, neutral, drive, low, and park. And you don't want to ever be moving when you punch one of those buttons. Otherwise, there's some strange and wonderful noises that will occur.
Woohoo! I said, when was she restored?
I picked it up in 2000,
Yeah.
and within about 4 months we were driving it.
Oh, wow.
But the car was definitely in pieces. The engine was sitting in it, but it wasn't. The engine had to come back out. Transmission had to come back out. He set it in just to sell the car. The body work was done on the car, and they done what I would call a really fair job on it. It's decent looking. The interior was all painted, but the seats I had to redo, the floor mat. The car was, all the parts for this car were in boxes, and they were on shelves. The boxes didn't go, neither did the shelves. So we took all the parts of everything that was apart, and everything was apart. The windows, everything were out of this car, period. It was just a bare body. So all these nuts and bolts we just scattered out across the floor, any place we could put them, because the boxes didn't go with them. So the biggest project was to start sorting nuts and bolts when we got back.
Where'd the car come from?
Oracle, Arizona.
Oregon.
The man is a little town down towards Tucson. He was a real estate person, and that's what he was putting the car together for, was to haul people to look at homes.
Oh, wow.
And he had all the body work done. We'll show you pictures of the car as he got it and as I got it. But he was ready to do all the mechanical ends of it. The transmission is the most difficult because it's an electric shift, push button transmission. One of Ford's brilliant ideas that really never worked.
Looks cool though.
So I was lucky. The person who done these transmissions is probably the only one in the Phoenix area because of the electronics on them. There's, I think, 17 little wires that are in an electric motor, and they set straight up and down, and as you punch a button, it will go from this little bar to the next one.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated, and then 2 of them were broke off, so I had to braze extensions on them, and I wasn't really quite sure how long they were to be. Oh, that was a mistake. We'll do it the hard way.
Oh, that guy's brakes need some work. Wow.
Somebody hit the brakes.
Wow.
The one thing about these cars, the older cars, the 50s type cars, they ride different. You've got probably 3 times the amount of suspension in this than you do in the new cars.
Yeah.
They're so quiet, no rattles, no air noises.
Does the radio work?
Not now. It does, but this radio, no. I couldn't find anybody that could fix it. So I put the one underneath it in it, but I never listened to the radio anyhow.
Yeah. get a lot of attention when you're out in this.
Yeah. But boy, there was a lot of hours put in on it just to get it to drive. And then the seats were done, and then the top was put on it. It's all time.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember just how much time it really took.
So you and Alice did a lot of road trips in this, I hear.
We've been to Cleveland twice, Arkansas. It's been to every corner of this state a dozen times. When I was with the Fabulous 50s Car Club, we went on all their runs. You know, any place there was a car show, the Fabulous 50s would get a group together and away we would go.
Oh, that's fun.
Route 66 running, I don't know how many times we've done that.
Yeah.
The speedometer, the mileage on there is not correct. We were on our way to Ohio. We got up just above Flagstaff, and all of a sudden the speedometer started talking back to us. So I disconnected it, and then we kept track from there, from town to town.
Oh, wow.
To keep what we thought would be an accurate mileage.
Yeah.
Plus running around Cleveland, we were there for 3 weeks, because that's where we were originally from, the Cleveland area. So we visited about everybody we knew, plus the people I used to work for. So I figured there was about 26,000 miles actual on the car since it was redone.
Yeah.
Jim Wagnon and my son-in-law, we worked together on a lot of cars. Jim, he remembers things. He's got a mind that if you tell him something or he sees something, he remembers it. And when we started on playing with these Edsels, he started taking parts off of these cars, but he noticed where they come from. And so those were all put in separate bins. He's a person who's going to make it better than the factory, but factory. And me, I just want him to be shiny. Oh, he was over here quite a bit when the 58 went together. It's a fun thing to do. Cars have been I've always bought cars, and usually not new ones, used ones, even when I was back in Ohio. At 9 years old, I was hanging around in a garage. They throw me out, I come back. And one day my dad was there, and he says, if this guy's in your way, throw him out. And he said, well, he wants to do this. He said, well, make him work. Keeps him out of, off the streets. The wife is a quilter. There's one sitting there. Yeah, she quilted for a long time. Yeah, that was made just for the car. It's just a shame that Alice had to go at the time she did.
Thanks, Bob, for allowing all of our subscribers and viewers to see a car that is rarely seen at most vintage car gatherings today. Simply beautiful from all angles. Let us know in the comments what you think about Bob's beautiful Pacer. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our weekly posted videos. Next week, join us again as we bring you a simply breathtaking example of one of the most legendary cars ever made, the 1965 Shelby 427 Cobra. But this one doesn't just have a 427 side-oiler Ford Performance big block under the hood. Oh no, this one takes it to the next level with a 427 Cammer engine effortlessly pumping out nearly 600 plus horsepower. These motors always look and sound extremely impressive no matter where they reside, but in a lightweight Cobra, it's indeed beyond words for any performance enthusiast, particularly if you lean toward the blue oval side of the collectible iron. As always, thanks for watching.